Unforgivable. After so many years on YouTube, I still haven't shown you my favorite dish. No, of course it's not plov. I loved it a lot as a child too. But for anyone, their native language is the one their mother sang lullabies in. And the favorite dishes of childhood are those made by their mom, grandmother, or aunts. 250 grams each of water and milk, a tablespoon of sugar and a teaspoon of salt. This is 100 grams of cooking oil. You can use 120 grams of butter instead. Just melt it and add a little less milk. But here, the proportions are precise. All of this is for 1 kilogram of flour and a packet of yeast. The grams don't matter. It's for 1 kilogram of flour. In short, this is yeast dough. There's also a version with kefir and baking soda, but I've always liked the yeast dough version more. My mother was German, and the dish we're making today is also German. And of course, it was always made with pork. I hope I don't need to explain to anyone why I'm making this dish with beef today. Salt and pepper the meat. Back then, there wasn't always meat available. Sometimes it was made only with onions and potatoes. Sometimes it was made with stewed cabbage. Sometimes with smoked pork fat. Do you have bacon or ham? Feel free to use it instead of meat. If you want to heat a cast iron pot evenly, always do it with the lid on. Some fat will render out of the meat. Roast the meat and let it heat through inside. Dip the dough in the sides of the dish in vegetable oil. Cover with a lid and leave it to rise in a warm place. This was a dish made by German peasants who lived far from their historical homeland, in Russia, which became their new home, in the Volga region. That's why they always cooked with whatever they had at home, but without onions. As without a cast iron pot, it's almost impossible to make this dish. A bit more fat will render out of the meat, but you can add a little vegetable oil, so that there's something to saute the onions in. And the meat also needs to stew properly. That's why I cover the pot. The juices come out of the meat, the onions are quite sweet, and a crust has already formed on the bottom of the pot. To lift it up, it's enough to just add a bit of water and scrape it with a skimmer. That's it, let it stew. Place the risen dough onto a table greased with vegetable oil. Some people use a rolling pin, but good dough can be stretched by hand. When my grandmother made strudels without meat, she used more oil to saute the onions. Then she would cool some of that oil and use it to brush the dough. It turned out very tasty. Next, the dough is rolled up into little rolls. The rolls need to be left again to rise. The meat has been stewing for about an hour. Add the potatoes to the cauldron. The potatoes should form a sort of layer between the meat and the dough rolls. The meat is salted, but no one has salted the potatoes yet. The dough rolls will be steamed, so you need to add a bit more water. I like the dough to be at least slightly browned and baked on one side. Cover the cauldron with a lid and leave it for 45 minutes. Take a look. Admire it for a moment. Of course, I also know that nowadays strudel refers to a dessert. But apparently, some 250 or 300 years ago, when Germans were just beginning to settle in Russia at the invitation of the Russian Tsars, any kind of dough roll was called a strudel. After all, the most important thing for the workers back then was hearty, high-calorie food. Strudels. Enjoy your meal. So now, in the new edition of the book Казан Мангал, there will be a new photo and a QR code leading to the video.